This is Bofades, and he is locked in ZF until he earns 1 million gold from this dungeon and this dungeon alone. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the series where we are locked in ZF until we earn 1 million gold. Today's episode is going to cover, I think it's runs 261 through 270. Before we get started, let's take a look at what we sold overnight. Alright, so on Bofades here, it looks like we just sold some trade goods for 1,000 gold. We did sell a backpack for 12 though. Let's go ahead and get this in the bags. All right, so it looks like we're at 262,163 gold. However, that's not where we're going to start today. We've increased the number of auction houses that we're posting on, and we're already starting to see some sales. The first one I want to look at is this one right here. The only sell from here is the Tyrant's leg plates for 10,854 gold. And then on this realm, we sold a Sunscale belt for 1,904 gold. And then on this realm, we sold the Rage Claw shoulder pads of the Fire Flask for 2,657 gold, which is a total of 15,415 gold that we sold from just greens from this place overnight. So let's go ahead and pay ourselves that. All right, and that puts our new total today at 277,578 gold. All right, let's head inside. As we mentioned yesterday, we will start expecting more sales to come through now that we're on more than just 4 auction houses. And one of the auction houses that I found is really good. Bofades here is a little concerned because there were a lot of Scarlet Monastery sales on that auction house last night, which we'll highlight in Socrates' video later today. All right, before we get started, let's take a look at a few comments. First comment says, finally caught up with the latest episode. I started watching 2 days ago. I have you on in the background while I'm leveling up TBC. Super chill videos, and I can't wait to go watch Socrates. Thanks for not spoiling the super items he got. Would you guys believe me if I said that that was the goal? That my goal of this channel and this series is to be the background thing that you guys have on while you're playing, while you're doing the things that you enjoy doing in WoW. So every time I see one of these comments, it makes me smile. That my content can be in that place for some of you. Be on your second monitor or whatever. All right, next comment says, feel like it was my comment about sleeping to YouTube videos. I used to take melatonin, but then realized there were content creators I could watch to fall asleep to, even though they were talking. Yeah, we talked about this yesterday, content creators and making content where like in the title it says something to sleep to. 3 hours of World of Warcraft lore to sleep to. And I mentioned that I'm trying to be more mindful of the fact that some of you might be putting this stuff on late at night. And so I've pulled back the dinging noise that I get whenever I loot an item. On a personal note, I found that I can't really fall asleep to like YouTube videos, or at least YouTube videos about something that I'm interested in, like a video game or whatever. And so what I put on, and this is gonna sound nerdy, is black and white foreign language films, like films from Ingmar Bergman, Ozu, Kurosawa. I do that because it feels like I'm reading a book as I'm falling asleep, and all the ones that I choose I've seen like a dozen times. But do you guys fall asleep to YouTube videos, or have you put on my stuff and fallen asleep to my videos? That'd be interesting. I'd kind of like to know that. All right, last comment says, another sub for the honest grinder. Keep it up, brother, and tell the missus you're a big deal in Australia now. All the best, my dude. Thanks for that comment. I decided to go in and look at the demographics of my channel, and it does look like Australia is in the top 7. So you and your friends are part of that 3.4% down there. I am surprised to see Germany in the 2nd place, though. But anyway, I'll be sure to tell her that I'm a big deal in Australia. I'm sure that'll go over well. Hey, we just sold a traveler's backpack for 13 gold. Let's go. All right, with all that out of the way, let's have our fried bonefish. Let's start up loot appraiser, and let's have a good day today. No jinxing. No jinxing ourselves today. All right, Scorpashi leggings, the first green that dinged today. Rage Claw shoulder pads. We just sold one of those. So speaking of the misses, I just want to remind everyone that today will be the last video for a few days. We are leaving in the morning to drive across a few different states to go celebrate her grandmother's 90th birthday. And we'll be there until Sunday, so I'm thinking that the next video that I get out will be on Monday. Jadefire cap. So even though I didn't highlight them today, I'm really enjoying the comments that are coming through about like the different ideas that you guys have with the role playing. There's another Witch Doctor's cane, guys. Did you guys know that you can get a Witch Doctor's cane here? Anyways, there were 2 comments that came through yesterday. People encouraging me to look into Scholomance, like do Scholomance as the next challenge. And one of the RP elements that someone suggested is that we go in there to see if we can prevent the tragedy that occurred there, which I think is a baller idea. I haven't settled on Bofades' lore or Socrates' lore yet. Hey, plans for the light Earthforge blade. I mean, I have a few ideas that I'm wanting to look more into, like explore more. But I do know that in the next challenge, there's going to be some sort of like connecting thing between the two. Like there will be purpose behind the place that they're farming and the amount of gold that they need to earn. And then also a competition will be kind of like hanging over it all. Scorpashi breastplate. And I'm saying all that to suggest that I'm open to the little bits of like fan fiction that you guys are putting in the comments. And I'm not above stealing an idea that I think is good. I mean stealing, but you know I would give you credit, you know, for the story. And for those of you that are into that sort of thing, I'm going to give you a hint. And this also is for everyone else that's just paying attention to what we're doing here, that doesn't write fan fiction or doesn't want to contribute to the lore. I will reveal that there was once a love triangle that Bofades and Socrates were a part of. Praetorian cloak. But that's all I'll say about it at this time. Another part of that comment centered on the fact that they know that I like and read a lot of philosophy and write about it too. Hey, another bloodletter scalpel. And it made me kind of curious about you guys, those of you that are watching this. Like, A, whether or not you guys are interested in philosophy and like read about it or, you know, consume content on it. And then B, if you do, what is the philosophy that you've, you know, devoted your life to, or the one that you follow? I'm genuinely curious. Bone Link Wall Shield. Small round of vendoring there for 302 gold. Khan's Belt. Bloodwoven Pads. I made a joke yesterday about Raid Shadow Legends being like our first major sponsor, probably. Like the first brand that might reach out to us. Blood Forge Leg Plates. And it made me wonder, does anybody in the comments play Raid Shadow Legends? Griffin Mail Pauldron. And if so, is it any good? I can honestly say that I've never downloaded it, so I've never spent, you know, a second playing it, so I have no idea. I only judge it from, oh, Glorious Shoulder Pads, Praetorian Padded Armor, nice. I only judge it from, like, the, you know, thousands of ads I've seen on it over the years. And if you remember, when it first came on the scene, it came on the scene hard and aggressive, which was sort of off-putting for me, so I decided to refuse to download it, refuse to be a part of that, the growing community around the game. And it's unfortunate that an aggressive ad campaign can do that to me, Bloodforge Helmet, where I just refuse to try a product or try something if I'm getting bludgeoned to death by the ads. And it's sometimes unfortunate that I do that because sometimes I'll just like refuse to go see a movie or play a game or do something just because of the ads. And the thing that I'm refusing to go do or see or play is actually really good. Jadefire Bracelets, Bloodwoven Rod, Sunscale Guards. Well, it looks like we had some growth in the Bofades and Company community. Someone got some Vanguard leg plates yesterday. Bloodforged Gauntlets. Bonecaster Sarong. Griffin Mail Belt. Another Witch Doctor's Cane. Khan's Chest Piece. Arachnidian Robes. Someone asked either on Bofades' channel here or Socrates' channel if I do undercut scans. And although it's really wise to do those if you want to like get quicker sales, I haven't been doing that, mostly because of time. Making these videos, like doing the runs and then making the videos, is about a 3.5 to 4 hour part of my day. So once I get all this done, like the runs, the editing, the posting, all that, I'm kind of spent for the day, to be honest. We are on a summer schedule right now where these videos are coming out almost every day. Peerless Legs. But once we move to like a kind of like a fall schedule, like a, let's say a school year schedule of these videos where I'm like maybe posting one every 3 days or so, I think it'll be then that I look into undercut scanning, like on the days in between videos. Ooh, Vanguard Breastplate, let's go. Jade Gauntlets. All right, guys, that does it for our 10 runs today. I went ahead and cleaned up the bags quite a bit here so that whenever I open them, I'm not like stressing you guys out. And I've already disenchanted a lot of stuff. We have 27 Greater Eternal Essence from that. Also, at one point, I had to reload my UI, so we lost our loot appraiser data from this. This is like twice in a row now. I'm wondering if I need to go in and like update my add-ons. Anyway, let's look at our best stuff here. Based on the region market value, I think it's these 4 things right here. First thing is another pair of the Glorious Shoulder Pads. We looked at these yesterday. And yes, today's episode's probably going to be called Glorious 5. The next thing that was good was the Peerless Leggings. They look like this. Oh, and when we take a look at the Glorious Shoulder Pads, the US region market value on these is 53K. And on the Peerless Leggings, apparently the US region market value on this is 193K. 118 on this realm. Wow. 120 of these across US realms, 19 or 20K for the low end, 200K for a median. Yeah, these are really good. Next item was the Arachnidian Robes. Look like this. 126 across US realms, 3K on the low end, 71K for a median. Yeah, not bad when we look at this. And then our last good item here is the Vanguard Breastplate. Looks like this. 122 across US realms, 8,000 on the low end, 149K for a median. Yeah, another banger piece, for real. And then we got a bunch of the usual suspects, some Witch Doctor's Canes, Bloodletter Scalpel, Praetorian padded thing. I'm keeping these Rage Claw shoulder pads now that I know that they sell on different realms. So yeah, no epics, no amazing blues, but these 10 runs were pretty good. So I'm going to spend some time sending this stuff off, posting things. Usual stuff that I do, right? So anyway, if you enjoy this sort of content, I would encourage you to like, comment, subscribe, do whatever it is you do to engage with YouTube videos and YouTube channels. Our account is marked healthy on YouTube, which is exciting. we're seeing consistent growth, and we are starting to appear in various countries around the world, which is really fun. And a quick reminder again, there will not be another video posted until next Monday, so there will be a few days off here because we will be out of town. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. So anyway, until next time, take care. See you soon.